Bravo Kilo, you're 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie, okay? Okay, 73, Victor Alpha 7 radio. Kilo Alpha 1. Okay, KA1 Tango Zulu Yankee, you're 5-9 in Charlie Papa Charlie, okay? Thank you, Victor Alpha 7 radio. Zulu Victor X-ray, 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie.
5-9 Georgia, over.
Okay, and is it Whiskey 4?
Whiskey 4, Zulu Victor X-ray, 5-9 Georgia.
Excellent, thank you, good morning, VA7 radio. The Bravo? Got yours at Victor Alpha 7 radio. CQ contest to VA7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest. November 5 Mike Kilo Hotel, 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie. Thanks for Arizona, Victor Alpha 7 radio. Radio Bravo. Whiskey 1 Charlie Radio Bravo, you're 5-9 in British Columbia. Okay, thank you, Victor Alpha 7 radio. CQ contest, looking especially for Vermont. Victor Alpha 7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest. CQ contest to VA7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest.
Kilo Delta 9 November Hotel Bravo.
Kilo Delta 9 November Hotel Bravo, 5-9 in Charlie Papa Charlie.
Roger, 5-9 Illinois. Good luck.
Thank you, Victor Alpha 7 radio. CQ contest to VA7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest. Whiskey 4 Zulu Delta Charlie, 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie. That's Virginia. Thank you, Victor Alpha 7 radio.
W0 Papa India.
W0 PI, good morning, 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie.
Roger, 5-9 Minnesota.
Thank you very much, Victor Alpha 7 radio. CQ contest from Victor Alpha 7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest. CQ contest to VA7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest.
Whiskey 4, Zulu Victor X-ray.
The Bravo Kilo again. Okay, ZL2 Alpha Bravo Kilo, you're 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie, okay? Okay, 73, Victor Alpha 7 radio.
Whiskey 4, Zulu Victor X-ray.
Kilo Alpha 1. Okay, KA1 Tango Zulu Yankee, you're 5-9 in Charlie Papa Charlie, okay? Thank you, Victor Alpha 7 radio. Zulu Victor X-ray, 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie.
5-9 Georgia, over.
Okay, and is it Whiskey 4?
Whiskey 4, Zulu Victor X-ray, 5-9 Georgia.
Excellent, thank you, good morning, VA7 radio. The Bravo? Got yours at Victor Alpha 7 radio. CQ contest to VA7 radio. Victor Alpha 7 radio contest. November 5 Mike Kilo Hotel, 5-9 Charlie Papa Charlie. Thanks for Arizona, Victor Alpha 7 radio. Radio Bravo. Whiskey 1 Charlie Radio Bravo, you're 5-9 in British Columbia.
Welcome, my amateur radio friends and listeners from around the corner to around the world. This is another episode of Amateur Radio Rumblings. I'm your host, Peter, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor. Good afternoon, everybody, and good to be here, and hopefully you're also here as well. Anyway, so let's start talking a little bit about what we have in store here for us today. I guess the first thing I should do is let me introduce myself briefly to you. I was first licensed in 1964 at the age of 16. The New York World's Fair was my biking distance way to get to the World's Fair from my home, and with a CB background, I stopped by the Coca-Cola Pavilion of K2US operating station and was in awe and began my climb from a novice to an extra class licensee. You know, solar Sunspot Cycle 20 was beginning when I got my license in 64, and the solar cycle lasted about 11 years, beginning in October 64 and ending in March of 1976. And at the time, the maximum smoothed sunspot number observed during the solar cycle was 156.6. Not great, but okay. And that was in November of 68. And the starting minimum was 14.3. So during the minimum transit from solar cycle 20 to 21, there's a total of 272 days with no sunspots. So the numbers were okay in retrospect, and I should have really begun on CW and HF in my career. Instead, I chose the 6 meter and 2 meter band, which was not a friendly neighborhood band, and that was an AM. I was all but absent really from the hobby until 1995. I moved to Massapequa, New York. I joined the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club, and then an incredible mentor, November 2 Mike Uniform November, N2MUN, now an SK, a silent key, who took me to the extra class license. I was also required, to pass a 20 word per minute test time and began to actually enjoy CW. My first radio was a Kenwood 570D. I now run a Flex 6400M. So there are so many terrific people who provide content from very talented streamers. Why then am I streaming? The simple answer is I don't know. But maybe if I find some items that you may not be aware of and benefit from, you can tell me, and I might have a reason to continue. This is just an experiment, and you'll let me know how to improve or move on. So as a regular feature, I'll select a few headlines in the world of amateur radio. Maybe you haven't heard them. And then do a feature topic of the day. And finally, some operating on the Flex 6000 radio. So, let's start with amateur radio news. Amateur radio news. This is report number 2362 with a release date of Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Get ready to work Bouvet Island. 3 Yankee Oscar Juliet. Their top story takes us to Bouvet Island. DX chases your ship has come in. That would be the sailing yacht known as Marama. And the name Marama is a girl's name, meaning moon bright. M-A-R-A-M-A. Marama. Hope I got that right. The name of the male lunar deity in Maori mythology, Marana, is nevertheless now used as a female name in New Zealand. No doubt because it's warm, sound effects really lead itself to contemporary feminine trends. In Tahitian, it means bright, clear, which in spite of windy rain conditions, they basically stood by while they made a difficult landing with the Zodiac, landing on Bouvet, 3YOJ team. So as Newsline went into production, the team was setting up. Now it's time to start listening for signals from the second most wanted DXCC station. You may want to listen for limited operation of 4 additional call signs. Again, with thanks to Amateur Radio Newsline. So there is a latest report on 3YOJ that we have, and that information comes to you via Facebook, and that really right now, let me just take a look here and search that out for you. And this comes from the Steve Haas, who is the 3YOJ reporter in this location. So the 3YOJ team was able to land yesterday at the island. 8 operators plus Peter are on the island. They managed to secure the tent and camp. Due to strong and challenging conditions, we are now using 2 K3 radios running 100 watts, wire antennas, and the Honda generator. Please remember that the 3YOJ team will always be operating split, never transmit on their frequency. And we ask that people that have Bouvet already confirmed on some bands, please do not work us again to allow opportunity to many other operators to get Bouvet for an all-time new one. Please stand by for updates in the 30J Facebook book team, and the team is thankful for all the support we have received in this adventure. That was from Steve, November 2 Alpha Juliet. He's the media officer and North American East Coast pilot for the 3Y OJ Bouvet Island 2023D expedition. And I think he deserves some applause for that. All righty. Thank you very much, Steve, and we look forward to the first operating on Bouvet. All right, what do we talk about now? Let's talk about weekly contests. The weekly contests, and again, this is going to be CW oriented, this short little basically brief here. And so the weekly contest, K1 USN, Kilo 1 United States Navy, USN Slow Speed Net, and that is a weekly contest from 000 Zulu to 0100, just 1 hour, and that is every week they'll have a contest like that. And CW Ops Test is a faster speed contest, 1900 Zulu to 2000 Zulu. They go at about 25 to 30 words a minute. Okay, what are the contest schedule? Well, the big contest is CQ Worldwide Gritty WPX Contest, 000 Zulu, February 11th to 2359 Zulu, February the 12th. And thanks to WA7BNM for the contest calendar. Well, since I'm an amateur radio satellite operator, and you see behind me over there is the AMSAT banner Radio Amateur Satellite Service, we can briefly talk about that. Rocket Lab launches the first Electron mission from the United States. Rocket Lab USA has launched its 33rd Electron rocket, and first mission from Virginia, the Virginia is for Launch Lovers mission, lifted off at 1800 Eastern Standard Time on January 24th from Rocket Lab Launch Complex 2, in parentheses LC-2 at Virginia Space's Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport within NASA's Wallops Flight Facility. The mission deployed 3 satellites to a 550-kilometer orbit for leading radio frequency geospatial analysis, and is providing the Hawkeye 360. Rocket Lab has now successfully deployed a total of 155 satellites to orbit from the company's 3 launch pads across the U.S. and New Zealand. So that's a little bit about the Rocket Lab. There aren't any frequencies that we can talk about for amateur radio use, but it is exciting to hear about that launch. Again, thanks for Space Daily for the information. Okay, let's move on to our feature of the day. The feature of the day. Let's move on to that. And that is basically really going to be about CW. And as you'll see soon, I have CW on the air, and I'll move over to that in a moment. But right now, we'll talk about a little bit about CW. And one of the sources that are really a very, very successful and popular club is the Long Island CW Club. Now, it's not just Long Island. That's just where it was based. It's got 3,505 members in 50 states, 47 countries, and actually 85 countries and 47 states. They have classes a week. They have 85 classes a week. So let me correct that. It's 50 states and 47 countries and 85 classes a week via Zoom. So the equipment needed is really a Zoom video conference setup. That's free. A computer with a mic and preferably a camera is needed so they can see your beautiful face. A key with oscillator or HF rig side tone is needed for sending practice. And what do you think? How long on average might it take for your first QSO? And QSO is your first contact. And it's a personal question, but on average, students get on the air during their first QSO in 3 to 4 months. Membership for 1 year is $30. And let's talk about some Morse code information. By the way, we can say,
That was easy.
okay, yeah, I'd say that too. Okay, Morse code teaching software, CW Player, G4FON, Morse Code Ninja, that's great, Morse Runner, just to list a few of those available kind of teaching methods. Well, okay, so that was a quick little background about what might be something you might want to look into. And now let's go over to the Flex Radio. Move over to that. There we go. And we are now looking at CW on the Flex Radio. And We're going to specifically look for parks on the air here. And let's just see. Right now, I had KBAW, which was located in Florida about a half hour ago, but it looks like they haven't transmitted for a while. So let's see what else we can find here. Let's just kind of move around. There is a site, a POTA site, which is Parks on the Air, POTA. Go over to that and you can see all the different parks that are being activated by amateur radio operators. So let's take a look here. Let me just slide down the band a little bit and see what we might be able to copy. Now you don't hear anything because I don't have the audio on. Okay, let's get that on. Let's see if we can see anybody here at all. This person's calling CQ. CQ. Another CQ. Da 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 da. And it looks like he's doing a test right now. Okay, so let's just move on down here to another station. Okay, they're not sending any. This is not a POTA. Again, I'm looking specifically for POTA stations. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go here and look on the POTA map and just see what we might find. In fact, let's do that. Let's go to the POTA map and take a little look here at what may be available. All right, I'm going to slide that over. Actually, for you to see that, I'm going to have to give you a screenshot for that. You know, it's not a POTA. That's not a POTA station, really. And let's just see here. Okay. Okay, we're looking at the desktop, and we're going to look here at stations that may not be difficult to see, but I'm looking for stations that might be operating 1405. So I'm going to slide this off a little bit. 14056 might be a station that might be operating. Okay, this is a POTA station. KF. There you go. He's calling CQ. That's POTA in code. This is N0EVH is his call. N0EVH. Okay, so let me put him in the log, see where he is. N0EVH. Okay, he is located in Missouri. By the way, there's a picture on QRZ website. When I put him in the log, it shows up. There's a gentleman there. And that is in Missouri. My antenna, Missouri is at 267 degrees. I'm at 2, so I want to go down to about his location. You'll see the signal will come up as I move my beam over to him. Okay, he's calling POTA. Someone just answered him. He's answering. He's giving him a 559 report. Okay. So I'm getting at about a 579 or so. Maybe, yeah, about a 579. That's the report that I'm going to give him when I make contact with him. So, okay. so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give him my call when he calls CQ. Okay. This is the other station now calling him, making contact with. He's off frequency a little bit. Okay, to you. Okay. So now he's calling CQ. My call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, W2JV. Okay. He asked the question. He didn't quite get the person's call. He says again, because he didn't get his call, and he has a BK, which means it's now your turn to talk. Isn't CW fun? It's quiet. I should have used this method when I first got my license. I was in a tiny room next to my sister, and on 6 meters I'd be calling CQ in the middle of the night, waking everybody up. I just wish I started in CW, but that's how it goes. Okay, he gave the report. Okay, he's making contact with a company N1JFZ, and he's giving a 559 report to that station. N1JFZ 559 is the signal report he's giving to him. He didn't get anything. All right. Okay, he first heard another station, a KB station, a Kilo Bravo station. KB3 AAY 559. He called me. Okay, he didn't get my call exactly. I gave him my call again. There he goes. He got it good. 559. Okay. Okay, so we made contact with that station. N0EVH. John is his name, and he's in Independence, Missouri, and that's it. So that's POTA. That's Parks on the Air, and a little demonstration of that. So hopefully, if any people at all out there, any folks at all would like to learn CW, it can be done, and it can be done in short order. Okay, so that is what I wanted to contribute today, and hopefully we'll have some more content in another show. Any comments, please feel free to send it to me, W2JV, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, at amsat.org. I want to thank everybody for really spending some time with us here today in the show, and I want to really thank the Flex people. They have a great radio, and it really is doing a very, very nice job for us. So I really do appreciate that very, very much. So thank you very much again. And 73s to everybody, and I'm going going to say to you, thank you very much for supporting amateur radio, and perhaps you might have an interest in amateur radio. So 73